So, have y'all ever seen that person that can eat just one Pringle? I mean, like, for real though. Can you eat just one? If you can, kudos to you, because I can't. Even though I know my stomach will hurt shortly after eating them, I do it anyway, and I just can't stop. Anyway, today's episode is about mindful eating versus intuitive eating. Now, these are concepts that some of you may have heard of, some of you may practice. But let's just dig a little deeper, talk about what they are and how you can incorporate these practices into your daily life. Hey mama, welcome to Holistic Health for Moms. Do you want to lose weight and have more energy? Do you find yourself up late at night searching Google about hormones, weight loss, and how to get healthy? Do you wake up with big, ambitious goals only to feel overwhelmed and frustrated when the scale doesn't move and you look 5 months pregnant after eating again? Hey, I'm Jennifer. I'm a mom of 3, a conventional health nurse practitioner that also believes in natural and holistic health. I kept hearing my patients tell me that they were overwhelmed, tired, and couldn't lose weight. They were overwhelmed with all the health and weight loss information out there. It hurt my heart to see women who wanted answers and solutions to only be given prescriptions and vague directions like eat better and exercise. They needed to get out of the traditional healthcare box, and I wanted to help. So I created this podcast. In this podcast, you'll learn about optimizing your health and transforming your mindset. You'll learn about tools to help you build on what you know is right for you and reclaim the energy and health you know you should have. If this sounds like you, raise your hand and say present and accounted for, and let's get this party started. So did y'all know that I have a meal planning template that will help you get your weekly meals planned in 30 minutes or less with many of the ingredients you already have on hand? Well, if you didn't, go ahead and download your meal planning toolkit at jennifercoble.com/meal planning toolkit. And you will get that along with my top 5 grocery store hacks and how to meal prep and pre-cooking tips. So you can head on over there. Now, let's get to what we were talking about earlier. So have you found yourself looking at a food, adding up how many calories are in it, or trying to figure out the macronutrient breakdown, like how many proteins, how many fats, how many carbs, like how many calories is this? Or just like literally tearing yourself apart mentally and emotionally over the amount of carbs versus fats versus protein, or the amount of calories, like in general, that you're about to consume. If you think to yourself, like, I shouldn't be eating this, but it's so good, shaming yourself mentally for wanting to eat food. Well, my friend, let me share something with you that you probably already know, but I'm just going to put it out there, okay? This is not a healthy mindset. I repeat, this is not healthy. This is not the way God created us to partake in eating, okay? Pretty sure at the Last Supper, the disciples and Jesus did not calculate calories in their bread. But that's a different story for a different day, right? Anyway, I know from personal experience, because I got so caught up in the calories, carbs, fats, proteins, etc., that I forgot I had kids. I mean, not for real, but it consumed my life. And it took a lot of time away from my munchkins, and it caused me a lot of mental stress. And so when we eat, it shouldn't be stressful. It should be an enjoyable experience, not something that causes us anxiety. Okay, so I wanted to introduce 2 concepts to you today, and I have mentioned them already, but we'll say it again. One is called mindful eating, and one is called intuitive eating. Now, mindful eating, pretty much what it sounds like. You pay attention to what you're eating without judgment. Okay, you eat the Snickers bar, and you think about what it tastes like in your mouth. Like, is it crunchy? Is it savory, sweet, like how sweet is it? What is it? All of the things. And then you pay attention to how you feel afterwards, like 30 minutes, hour, whatever. Okay. It sounds very simple and straightforward, but is in fact very difficult, especially for those who are not used to practicing that kind of eating. Okay. Mindful eating practice helps you become more aware of the reasons behind your, I'm going to say quote unquote hunger, because it's not always hunger. It's a need for food, but is it an emotional need? Is it out of boredom? Is it because you're on a schedule and it's time for you to eat? Is it because you have withheld food from yourself all day long? It's like, okay, now it's time to eat, and you're going to like gorge yourself, So it just makes you more mindful of why you're doing it and like what it makes you feel like. Okay. Now, intuitive eating is a broader concept that also includes mindful eating, but it's more about how your relationship between your mind, your body, and food. Okay. This, it also approaches food without judgment, but it's more about what am I craving? What does my body tell me that it needs? Does your body talk to you? No, not audibly, obviously, but, like when you're hungry, and I have experienced this like several times with, vacations or just being like off a regular like schedule and kind of have to like grab things here or there and not eating my best. And I will find, like in the car, like, man, I am craving a salad. And y'all, that is not normal for me. I'm going to tell you that ain't normal for me to want a salad, but I will want a salad with all of the healthy toppings. Okay. Because I have deprived my body so much of nutrients with the crap food that I've been eating. Okay. So it is intuitively eating. So then you eat non-judgmentally. So you eat the things that you want, and then you say, okay, well, am I full? Do I feel full? Well, what does full even feel like? Because some people don't even know. They just eat what's on their plate and then they're done. Well, then are you feeling like so bloated and nasty and gross and you ate too much and you missed that full feeling? It's a lot of questions to ask yourself. And really, like intuitive eating, you're relying on your internal like hunger and cues that like tell you that you're satisfied. Okay. And it's also about giving yourself permission to eat. Like eat pretty much anything. Now, obviously, you've heard me say 1,000 times over, fruits, vegetables, lean meats, beans, all of the healthy foods that God made, not man-made foods. But if you want a Snickers bar, like I'm not going to say don't eat the Snickers bar, because you tell somebody you don't, kind of like a teenager, you say don't, then they're going to toe the line and then cross the line and they're going to do it anyway. Okay? So there's that little soapbox for the day. So these are not diets. Okay? These are just mindsets. These are questions that you want to ask yourself. We're going back to the basics, which is a very foreign concept because we have twisted and turned and it's just people are pulled in every direction and they get so confused and so pulled away from the basics. They have no idea where to turn. So, we forget to listen to our bodies instead of listen to people externally tell us what to do. Why don't we actually listen to our bodies that God made, that are truly intelligent because we were made in His image, right? I mean, so our bodies are pretty smart. So at 3:00 in the afternoon, when you really need a sugary, fatty snack, a little pick-me-up, you do need energy. But that energy can also come from like an apple and peanut butter. Y'all probably know by now, if you've been listening to this, that's my favorite snack because it's always my go-to. So these practices allow you to listen to your body and your own instincts. And I'm going to tell y'all, it is not easy. It is not easy to break those habits, but just like everything else that is worth having, it takes time. It takes time. Now, our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and beliefs around food can come from way back in our childhood. And sometimes we have to evaluate that situation, which can open a whole nother can of worms. But let's just rein it back in and get off the psychiatrist's couch, okay? Because we ain't going throwback. I just want to share with you that some of these can be some like deep-seated things that you experienced as a child that are now reflecting on your food habits. Now, I ain't saying go blame everything on mama, daddy, aunt, uncle, whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it comes from areas that we don't realize, but we have to change our thoughts. Okay? So, I'm going to share with you some tips to help you be more mindful this week about your eating. So, first, to be super mindful, you can prepare your food in advance. You can fix your food, cook your food for yourself. Doing that prepares you for the week because you know what you have to eat. You know what your options are. And then your brain connects the smell and the sight of the food with what you're about to eat. So if it's a nourishing thing, maybe next time, like, you will crave that thing. Okay? Maybe like spinach. 2, put away electronics. Cut the TV off. Put the phones in a basket. Tablets away. Keep the distractions away. Put the phones down. Putting that away keeps your focus on your food and how it tastes and how much you're taking in, so you don't miss that full feeling and you don't get to that uncomfortable stage. Okay? I should have put this first, but I want you to sit down. Sit down, look at the food, and then thank God for the food that He has provided for you. Thank God for the time He has allowed you to eat this food. Thank God for the people that were involved getting this food to your table. I mean, not just the person that fixed it for you, or if you were the person, not just for yourself, but like for the farmers, for the truckers, for, the people in the grocery store that put the things out. Be thankful that we have those things available because, I mean, honestly, we could have to grow our own gardens and harvest our own meats and whatever, which, I mean, I ain't opposed to, don't get me wrong, but it's real nice when my squash plants don't, make a lot of squash to go to the grocery store to get squash. I'm just saying, I appreciate our first world, pleasures. Okay? Now, number 4, eat slowly. Notice what the food looks like. Notice the smell of the food. Notice the texture of the food. Is it sweet? Is it salty? Is it savory? Is it tough? Is it, whatever. Just eat slowly and pay attention to what's in your mouth. And then I want you to listen to your body. Notice when you start to feel full. When you get this feeling in your stomach where you're like, I might want another bite. I think I do want another plateful. When you feel this way, if there's still food on your plate, it is okay. Leave it. That's why we have Tupperware containers. Okay? Now, if you get to the end of the plate and you're like, I want some more, I want you to stop. I want you to wait about 15 minutes. And if you're still hungry, fix some more. But in 15 minutes, more than likely, you're probably going to be satisfied and you can move on with, cleaning up the kitchen or doing whatever it is that you need to do. Okay? So, number 1, prepare your food. 2, put away your electronics. 3, sit down. 4, eat slowly. 5, listen to your body. Now, this episode is a little less tangible, a little more like woo-woo, whatever you want to call it, okay? But truly, it all starts in our mind. Whether we can or we can't, it starts in our mind. So I do encourage you to try one, if not all of these suggestions, okay? Don't knock them till you try them. I mean, sometimes I'm out there, y'all, but love me anyway because I do it. I put this out there because I want y'all to have your best life and feel your best and to look your best, and for you to set those examples for your kids so that they will be healthy, and then their kids' kids will be healthy, and you'll have a wonderful family tree. Okay? So, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for podcast episodes, send me a message, support@jennifercoble.com. And if you want to make have a consultation, 15-minute consultation, let's talk about whether I can help you with your eating habits or thoughts or whatever have you, okay? Go ahead and sign up for that. That'll be in the link in the show notes. Otherwise, I hope y'all have a fantastic week, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and subscribe to my email list? By signing up, you get my free meal planning template to help you start optimizing your health today. Also, if you could leave me a review, this helps this podcast rate, helps more sisters see it, and it lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. Okay, time to go make sure the clothes are washed, ball uniforms are ready, and snacks are prepared for this week full of games and chaos. I'll meet you back next week for another episode. Have a great week, sister.